welcome to Always Alyssa. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Alyssa. I hope you're having a fabulous day so far. So I'm sure most of you know by now of the huge Stanley Cup trend that's going around. And well, first of all, little fun fact, yes, I do have one, I know. But since I'm an artist, I was thinking, in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to draw a Stanley Cup. First things first, I'm going to show you guys how I have my desk set up and everything you'll need for this art project. Of course, a pencil, eraser, some Sharpies. I'm doing it thin and thick because I'm not sure what's going to look best yet, but I'll try both of them out. Next up, you'll need a ruler, and lastly, you'll need markers. I have a bunch of different colors here. This is the cup we're going to be drawing in today's video, the Stanley Quencher, and I'll be sure to keep this one nearby for inspiration and for hydration, of course. Here's one more look at my desk setup, and now we're gonna get started. Just a little reminder before we get started, you can use your own Stanley Cup as a reference if you have one, or you can find a picture on Google, or if you want, you can just follow what I'm doing on the paper. First thing you're gonna do, grab your ruler, grab your pencil, and you might need an eraser. First step is to trace the basic outline of the Stanley. It's kind of like a big rectangle, so we're gonna go for that shape a little bit. The sides are pretty straight, so make sure you get it exactly straight when you're drawing your line. I'm thinking we'll do it about this big across, a couple inches across. That would be good. We're gonna draw from 2 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 inches. I might take a little off the top, but it's roughly 5. And then we will do the same to the other side. It's going to be roughly 3 inches across from side to side. So I made a little mark there. And now we're going to draw the other side using a pencil on paper like this. Now we're going to make this little slanted line. I could freehand this, but I'm probably just going to use a ruler. It's just kind of slanted about this much. That might be good. It's not too slanted, like you don't want to go inwards too much, just a slight slant. And that will be less than 1 inch long. There we go. And now same thing to the other side. And remember, even if all of these aren't exact measurements, you can kind of just eyeball and guess in. If you need to fix something to adjust it, you can, until it looks right. Let's draw the top line really fast. There, I think. And we'll cut a little of that extra off the top here. Don't need that. Now we're going to draw this bottom half of the cup down here. And this line is also going to be straight, but it's going to start from these 2 points right here. And that should be around 2 inches, maybe a little longer. That looks pretty good. And remember to draw lightly. There we go, that's what we have so far. I might just adjust this side a little bit. And for the very bottom of the cup, it's not a flat line, so we're just gonna draw a slightly curved line. If you want to, it might be a bit easier to turn your paper sideways and draw it this way. And remember, not too curved, just slightly. And you don't have to do one perfect line, you can just do a bunch of little feathered marks like I am right here, because that'll help you get the perfect shape. There you go, that looks pretty good. And remember, all these little edges can be rounded out just slightly. You can even do that right now if you want to. Just a little bit. I'm going to draw a very, very light line right here that's slightly curved, connecting these 2 pieces, and then another one up here. And this can be extremely light because we are going to erase it later on. Just for a little bit of reference of where this part is. You know what, I just looked at my reference picture and realized that this part can be a little bit thinner, so I'm just going to bring that in a little bit. Now we're going to start on the handle. It is just a little bit above this corner right here. Just about that much, just a little bit. Okay, so that will be the start of the handle, and then make another line up here. It's about the size of like your pinky, I'd say. Maybe a bit bigger. And let's start making this line. You can use a ruler if you want, but I'm going to try to freehand it. It curves up just slightly. And once that goes out a little less than 1 inch, you're going to start the curve. Once you've done that, you're going to continue a straight line up. And you're going to stop right about there and do another curve so you can make the handle go back into the cup. And this line again is going to be angled slightly upwards. Now you're going to draw the inside of the handle. And just make sure it's the same thickness all around. Next, we're going to draw the little metal part of the cup, which is right above the handle line right here. Now it is ever so slightly curved, but I'm just gonna go in with a ruler for now and make it a straight line. It's right above the handle, right there. Make sure it's pretty straight. Perfect. And now we're going to make one more up here. So just slide the ruler up a little bit. Perfect. Now for the top of the cup, there's this little part that the straw comes out of, so we're gonna draw that, just 2 lines up like that. It's maybe about 1 inch wide. Yep, almost exactly 1 inch. So after you do those little straight lines up, you're just gonna do slightly angled up. Maybe even less angled up, that's almost too tall. Let's try that again. That's better. And then you're gonna connect those 2 lines at the top with a flat line. It's a little bit of a tricky shape, but once you get it, it'll look good. Next for the straws is a pretty easy part. Just take your ruler and it's gonna come straight out of the top, just 2 straight lines. 1 and 2. I think that's actually a good thickness. Just cut a little off the top. And then connect those 2 lines and you have a straw. Now comes the trickiest part of the entire project, and that is drawing the logo. I have a reference of the logo on my iPad right here, but I'm also going to use this so I can look at it closely and make sure I get all the shapes right, because it is pretty tricky to draw letters like that. I might even put mine right here so you guys can see it a little bit. That might help me too. So first we're going to make the general shape of it. So first you're going to make, I'm using my ruler, so I'm just gonna use this pencil as a ruler for a second. It starts about right here, so just make a straight line. That's where the words Stanley are going to go. I'm gonna erase a little off the edge if you want, because it's not that big of a word. And then just make a little kind of box where the words are gonna go, because that is gonna help you a lot. Because then it shows you how long the word is and how tall the letters are. So once you have your little word box, we can move on to the little bear that's on the top. Before I get started with the bear, I also noticed that all of the Stanley quenchers do not have this little "since 1913. I think only mine does, so we're not going to add those little words on the bottom, just the Stanley and the bear. Okay, I know this part is a little tricky, but we can do it. Let's get started with the bear. I think I'm just gonna do little guidelines for myself. So let's start with one of the legs. Just put it a little bit curved. We're just gonna do lines for everything as kind of guidelines first. So the first leg is like this, and the paw goes out like that. The second leg is behind the bear. The logo's pretty cute, actually. I like it. And then make another paw right there. And like I said, we will thicken these out after we get all the shapes right. And then there's a line right here for the chest. It goes angled up. Another line. One more. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I know this is tricky, but I think we'll be able to do it. Now, just a little ear. Just kind of a little angled shape. It kind of like, almost like a triangle actually. And then for the head, it's almost flat, just like 2 small bumps like that. I know it's so tiny. And then another ear, same thing. The ears don't have to be totally perfect, just as long as they're kind of a triangle shape, that's okay. Now, one more line. I might make that ear a little smaller actually. And make sure your pencils are very sharp for this part. Next, make one line right here for the wing, angled up a little, and make a curve for the bend of the wing, and then you're gonna go up like this, just slightly up above the bear's ears. Then you're going to go like this. It's just a curved line down, and continue to make the wing shape. Now you can go down a little bit to the next leg. The head shape in just a second here. Make this part go up. There we go, and it'll connect to the bottom of the wing there. Oh man, this isn't looking the greatest. I'm definitely gonna have to fix it a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna fix up the head and the wing because I think that's what's messing it up a little bit. I colored in the wings so you can see them a little bit better. And don't forget about this little nose. There you go, and of course its little crown. It has 4 spikes on it. Oh my gosh, this is so small, but that looks pretty decent. I might fix it up a little bit, but for now it looks okay. Now for the letters spelling out Stanley. Of course, we're going to start with an S. But first I'm going to make note of what letters are under the bear, because then it can help us have a little better spacing. So the top of the N is actually right here. Let's just draw a line here and here. Kind of in the very middle of the bear. That's where the top of the N is in Stanley. So I'm just going to start with the N. It's just like that like blocky letter style, you know. That's just the kind of font it is. And I'm not the best at drawing it, but I think it'll look okay. There we go, that's not bad. Okay, we have the N. Let's do the L because it is right next to it. Just draw a line like this. And, you know, L's are pretty self-explanatory. Good. Now let's go for the E. Make sure the bottom and top of your letters line up with the little box you drew earlier. That's going to help you a lot. Now for the Y, I think it's actually connected to the top of the E. There we go, perfect. And then you can put the little circle right there with the R inside of it. And then next we're going to do the A. The next step is to grab your Sharpies so we can trace. Like I said earlier, I got some thick Sharpies and some thin ones, so I'm gonna really quickly test these on a separate page and see what I think would look best with this cup. I decided that I'm going to use the thick Sharpie for all the main outlining and then the thin one for the words and the bear. All right, let's get started tracing. Now we're going to erase all of the leftover pencil marks. This next step is very fun, but it is also optional. You don't totally have to do it. We are going to be customizing our Stanleys, and what I mean by that is, if you want to, you can do a cute little design on your cup that wouldn't normally be sold in a store. So for example, you could put like some beach waves here on the bottom and then color the rest in blue. Or maybe you could put like some hearts on it, or literally whatever design you want. Now is the time to do it. You can sketch it in pencil first, and then you can trace it in a thin Sharpie. I'm thinking what I want to do is draw some confetti down here, and it'll be like piling up at the bottom. I think that would look pretty cute. I'm pretty satisfied with my cute little design here, so now I'm going to trace it in thin Sharpie. Now it's time to color. It's looking so cute already. I'm excited to color this in, and you guys, again, can color it whatever color you want, and whatever design you did, I'm sure it looks great, and you can also color that whatever color you want. I think I'm gonna make my cup a light pink, and the confetti will be other maybe like rainbowish type colors. So I'm just gonna test out a few pinks and then I'll get started. I just finished coloring in my Stanley cup, and I think it actually looks really cute being customized like this because I've never actually seen one that looks like this. And also, in case you didn't notice in that little time lapse, I added a little bit of shading Here, just some darker colors to make it pop a little bit, and also a little shadow at the bottom here. There are so many different designs with this. You could draw it like 10 times and have 10 different unique designs. This is just so much fun to draw. Make sure you guys comment and tell me what you guys did to customize your Stanley Cup. Drawing this cute little customizable simple Stanley Cup was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys were able to follow along. And if you did, yours probably turned out absolutely amazing. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe if you're not yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!